You know, it's funny, when you was little and you went to elementary school, teacher would tell you to put 3 things on your paper that you want to do when you get older. And I would always put the NBA. My teachers would always look at me saying, put something else, you know? I put NBA 3 times. I didn't put nothing else. NBA, NBA, NBA.
James, another 3. It's good. This goes down as one of the all-time performances in the NBA.
LeBron James named MVP for the 4th time in 5 seasons.
I dreamed about numerous things. I dreamed about being a superhero, fighting crime and knocking off the villain and being, you know, savior of the city. I dreamed about flying in basketball games and dunking and scoring touchdowns and hitting home runs. Anyone that can have an ability to do something that's supernatural, superhuman, you know, I loved it. Akron is the reason that I'm here today. I've always said when I was a kid, if I ever had the opportunity, I was going to put this city on the map.
He was born in Akron, you know, single mom, Gloria James, and I think she was 16 when she had LeBron. LeBron's father wasn't in the picture, and it was tough for them.
He actually had a stable childhood in his early years because his grandmother was a big part of his life. Shortly after she passed away, his mother, you know, was unable to keep the house, and they eventually began this period where he was moving around house to house, couches, floors, and really LeBron could have gone either way.
I had to become the man of the house very fast and do things that the father figure would have, you know, most likely would have done. We weren't financially as stable as we would love to be. We had to work for everything, every day to get what we wanted. Not even what we wanted, what we needed. To see that my mother was able to raise a kid by herself, you know, not financially stable, now that's superhuman, for sure.
From 4th and 5th grade, he was missing a lot of school. So there was this family, the Walker family. Frankie Walker, he used to coach LeBron in some of the Pee Wee basketball leagues. And they said, hey, you know what? LeBron could stay here.
For that 1 year that he stayed with the Walkers, I think it gave him some stability that he needed. The year before, he may have missed 80 days of school. The year with the Walkers, he didn't miss a day of school.
Frank Walker Sr. taught me so much about not only sports, but what it means to be a young man. The responsibilities of going to school and responsibilities of having chores. And it just gave us some sense of structure.
Gloria and LeBron, they finally moved to Spring Hill. Although it was subsidized housing, it was their home. They had so many people who had their best interest at heart. And that's what's great about Akron, because so many people could raise their hand and say, I helped them.
I've been playing basketball my whole life. I was 2 years old. My mom had a hoop in the living room, and I used to try to dunk on it, make shots off of it. So I always loved the sport.
I probably met him when he was about 7. 2 of the football coaches had actually brought him down for basketball. By the time he's 10 or 11, he's just about doing what he wants to do on the basketball court. His level of understanding of the game was probably that of a high school kid.
Go LeBron, go LeBron, go LeBron!
He was always a little taller than most of the kids. When you're the tallest, a lot of times they want to put you in the post, but he was a guard. He dribbled the ball, handled the ball, passed, was faster than all the kids, jumped higher.
In 8th grade, I dunked the basketball. With my classmates and people on the team in my middle school, they were like, what did you just do? I was like, I have no idea. I've dreamed about it, but I have no idea what I just did.
LeBron grew up without really a family. He had a couple of uncles, but essentially after his grandmother passed away, it was him and his mother. He was an only child and was moving around, so it was hard for him to form friends. He yearned to be a member of the group, to be one of the guys.
We started AAU when we were 9 years old. That was like a family. We traveled everywhere, every weekend, played 90 games a summer. We were always together.
We drove from Akron, Ohio to Cocoa Beach, Florida to play in the AAU Nationals. And you can imagine the type of time you can have with kids your age. And it just created something that I always wanted in the household with his brothers. Sports got me past the frustration of being an only child because it allowed me to create friendships that I still have today.
Where he really took a leap is 8th grade when we were playing again in the AAU Nationals. He was head and shoulders the best player there.
The world of AAU basketball, there are no secrets. The word of LeBron James was getting out there. This is the guy to watch.
We're on the verge of high school. It was viewed as the next big, important decision, whether to go to the neighborhood school or choose St. V. It was me, Shion, LeBron, and Willie, and we wanted to go to high school together because we formed a great bond, and we thought, you know, if we stayed together as teammates, then we could have a lot of success.
The powerhouse in Akron City Public Schools was Bookto High School, and we were like, you know, let's go there. And Drew was like, no, I'm not going. You know, we was like, what? You're not going? We not going? I thought we was going there. He's like, I'm going to St. V. You know, there's a coach there that believes in me. And after a few weeks, we was like, all right, we hope you're right. And we all followed along.
The first pick in the 2003 NBA draft goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And the crowning moment for LeBron James is about to happen.
The Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James.
This is a great moment for him and his family, obviously, but also for the city of Cleveland.
You know, this is a long-time dream to finally accomplish this, and it finally shows that the hard work has finally paid off for me.
It definitely added a really cool incentive when I got drafted here. And also scary, too, because being home, I didn't know how much it could affect me. But one thing about it, I knew that I had a support system with me that made me ready for this moment. We're here at the St. Vincent St. Mary trophy case. I can see 3 of my trophies in here, my years playing, my freshman year. It was a great start.
We played for a former Division I coach, Keith Dambrot. He was fiery, he was intense. He had this edge to him that we liked.
Coach Dambrot, he was very tough. I think he saw more in us than we saw in ourselves.
Coach Dambrot is responsible for showing LeBron how to carry himself as a professional, how to take his game from AAU basketball or high school basketball, and how to prepare like a Division I player or a rookie in the NBA.
LeBron is one of those guys that plays basketball the right way. He was an easy guy to coach because he always cared about the team winning and not scoring points. But he's always trying to make other people better.
Coach Dambrot was tough on all of them, but he especially was tough on Bron because he wanted him to understand that you're blessed with a lot of talent, okay? I see that. But that doesn't give you any special privileges here. If you want to take this thing to the highest level, then you're going to have to work a little harder.
People really didn't think that you could win with freshmen, and 4 out of our top 7 guys were freshmen. There was something special about those kids. They cared about winning. They had a little chip on their shoulder. They believed in themselves.
Once we started winning a few, then they're like, who are these freshmen over there at St. V? So people took notice.
We'd play a bad team in high school, and most guys would go get 50 or 40. LeBron would get 12 and spread the wealth. He did that in the district final game his freshman year. He kicked the ball to a little guard, Chad Mraz, for the game winner when a lot of people thought he should shoot it. He gets criticized to this day about making the right pass at the end of the game, but that's what he did in high school.
We always taught that it's about the team. It's about the group. It's not about an individual. He bought into it early, and you still see that player today.
freshman year, we won the state championship. Our sophomore year, we did it again. The key to our success was just the camaraderie that we had, the chemistry. We knew how to get the best out of each other every single day, on and off the court. Once we got on the court, it was like, okay, let's go.
The summer when he was 16 years old, he went to this tournament in New Jersey, what was then known as the ABCD camp. And it was generally known as one of the best 2 or 3 summer events of the year where all the top players were invited.
He went up against the #1 player in the country at the time. His name was Lenny Cook. And LeBron he destroyed him. The coaches were saying he'll never play a minute of college basketball.
There's one young man in this camp, he's not even a senior, who, if he keeps his attitude, is a lock NBA basketball player.
LeBron James is simply the greatest 16-year-old kid I've ever seen in my life.
This was just days after Kwame Brown had been the first ever #1 overall pick at a high school. So there was this paradigm shift. All the scouts were looking to high schoolers as the next wave of talent to the NBA.
I think at that point in time, people started recognizing myself as a talent, individual talent. That's when it kind of started to get a little crazy.
And LeBron James' season is over. Is his career in Cleveland over?
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
What is the mood in Cleveland the day after?
This is one angry city. Fans here feel betrayed. They feel abandoned.
It was devastating because he had become basically the greatest export in the state, the #1 piece of pride in the state. He was sort of, property.
We were losing jobs, the economy was bad, and LeBron was the one piece of hope that a lot of people held on to in the Cleveland area.
His junior season, St. Vincent St. Mary started to play a national schedule because his fame and the desire to see him play had grown exponentially.
Their profile after winning 2 state championships, it was off the charts. It was nothing like you've ever seen for a high school basketball team.
Midway through that junior year, if it wasn't crazy enough, Sports Illustrated comes in.
When the SI cover came out, that was it. It all just went loose. It just broke loose on us.
He read Sports Illustrated, but to go on the cover, I don't think it dawned on him what that was really going to mean.
It was a pretty crazy moment to have him on the cover with the headline, The Chosen One, implying that this guy was the next great American basketball player.
We were moving the games to the University of Akron because the crowds couldn't fit in our gym anymore.
They're scalping tickets for $100 a ticket when he's a junior in high school. I'm thinking, wow, this is unbelievable.
ESPN puts one of his games on national television, bringing in Dick Vitale to call the game like it's a major college game.
The hype machine's been out for over 2 years. You pick up the paper today and it says LeBron Mania.
He's like the next Michael Jordan.
I had Allen Iverson, Shaquille O'Neal show up to my game, and I was like, wow, I got these guys on my wall back in Akron, Ohio.
Kobe Bryant actually sent the card so LeBron could come see him. He gave him a pair of shoes, like, right out of his closet. It was like, Kobe Bryant just called you over. He's like, yeah, Kobe just called me. The abnormal became normal.
LeBron, with all the hype going into this game on national television, is this too much pressure for you?
No, it's no pressure for us.
I wish it on no kid the exposure that we had. Looking back on it, I'm like, we was a high school team on SportsCenter. I had never seen it to that point until we came around, and now it's like second nature.
He was leaving school to get on private jets, to fly out, to do meetings with shoe companies. I mean, certainly, this is not your average student, but he was right there every day handing his homework in.
As a 17-year-old, and have all these people coming at you, you could easily get jaded by that and start to feel that you're better than what the circumstances are.
I'm in the Matrix.
He didn't. I think that one of the great things is his friends, they kept him grounded.
We didn't treat him any different than we had before. You know, he was still our friend, our homie.
We grew up together. If I did something wrong, they'd get on me. Hey, yo, did you see that? They talking about me. They're like, man, shut up. We don't care about you. That's how we talk. That's how my friends talk about it. They got the wrong name. It should be Drew Joyce on there. Should be the #1 pick. When you got guys around you like that, man, we just all stayed even keel.
He did some great things to share the spotlight because the spotlight was always on him.
If I'm on the spotlight, that means my team is on the spotlight too. And that's all I'm about for me and my team.
As a coach, you're sitting back watching the 17-year-old, how he's handling the media, and I'm saying this is well beyond his years.
2002, we feel like we were turning into men. Guys start getting their driver's license, and I think we all know what that means for a high school kid. We thought we were untouchable, and even though we got to the championship, we had shortcut the process that whole year, and they caught us.
I'm guaranteed I'm not going to let my team lose. I don't want my team losing, and I know they don't want to lose, and I ain't going to let it happen.
The confidence had turned to cockiness. He just said, I'm not going to let my team lose, basically, which wasn't a bad thing to say. It was great for a locker room, the opposing locker room.
James can't finish inside, took the lob from Drew Joyce and can't finish.
They had played Roger Bacon earlier in the season. They had beat him. SAV felt like they could just walk on the court and win. And they didn't. They lost, and it was a shock.
Cincinnati Roger Bacon has upset Akron St. Vincent St. Mary and won the Division II state championship.
On the court, everybody's sobbing. Romeo, Little Drew, Sheon. LeBron was very, very calm. He went down the bench and shook everybody's hand. Came into the press room. He said, I'm going to take a couple weeks off. I'm going to work harder than I've ever worked before, so when I come back, I'll never have this feeling again.
LeBron James' agent has informed the Heat that he has decided to opt out the final 2 years of his contract in Miami.
Everybody is on the clock now as LeBron James will be a free agent in a matter of days.
This is once in a lifetime, right, to get the best player in the world.
But the question is he going to come back?
LeBron James is seriously considering going back to the Cavaliers.
I can sense an undercurrent of fear to actually believe that LeBron James could return home.
Right here is my senior year. The reason I think that's probably the most memorable one is because we played in AAU tournaments and wasn't able to win a national tournament. Our senior year, we made a schedule where we could possibly rank #1 in the country.
There was much more of a workmanlike attitude going into that senior year. They set a goal, which was that they wanted to win the national championship. But there's no national tournament. The only way you can win is to be on top of these mythical poles.
There was a hunger to succeed, to not let that failure happen again. It was led by him. He fueled it.
LeBron had an amazing senior year, even though with all the expectations and all the things surrounding him.
James,
he rose above it like he always does, and we won a championship.
and that is the basketball game. Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's wins their 3rd in 4 years.
You're dealing with probably the biggest hype of any player ever. He's one of the few guys that ever really did live up to it. He's gotten punched in the face from time to time, but he's always showed that ability to rally back and become what he really is.
It is confirmed LeBron James is going back to Cleveland.
I knew what I meant to this area. That was part of me coming back. Obviously, I'm a competitor and I want to win the game. That's my biggest dream, is to bring a championship to Northeast Ohio.
Tonight, 25,000 subjects will be at the University of Akron football stadium to welcome back the NBA's best player and Northeast Ohio's #1 son.
We live, baby.
You could just feel the buzz around the whole city. So the king is back, huh?
I'm getting my sound check. Sound check, we good?
To have 30,000 people come to fill a football stadium when there is no football game says a lot about what he means, and they just wanted to see him.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome home the James family.
I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home.
When he entered the stage, it was almost like he was Muhammad Ali. He did this lap around the stadium to this standing ovation. If anybody couldn't understand why he'd want to come back, you'd have to see it.
People came to me and said, LeBron, you got to do what makes you happy. I thought about that, and I was like, I'm going to do what makes my city and my state happy. And that's why I came back. I love you. I'm back.
Being a professional basketball player, knowing you have so many kids that look up to you and look up to you as a superhero at times, you know, it's a lot of responsibility, but I love it.